All right, let's start out with Earl Alfred of Bath. We are a vassal. Now here's a question. I will have all DLC on. It is all on. For certain reasons, I will go here. I will have direct action turned on. I'm gonna leave this stuff off. Regencies is definitely going to be off. Just in case. That way I can, I have control over that. We'll leave everything else the way I've had it. So, quick rules, dynamic, fewer minor epidemics. We'll keep that from getting in the way. Historical and 13th century for Aztecs and Mongols, so we're not going to see those happen most likely during this. Generate families on, yes. So, pretty much everything else should be on default. Alright? Default, which is on. Shattered Retreat is on. Army Movement Lock, Siege Assault, Siege Events. Defensive packs are off. We'll turn those on. Again, shouldn't really matter for this. Supernatural events, absurd events, of course, are on. Everything else, a bunch of default, historical, normal. Yep. So the big ones that we're doing, we're turning off Regency, Assassination. Direct action is on. Release prisoners after punishment off. Yeah, we'll just leave that on. That's fine. Have that on default. And everything else, default. Alright? Alright. There we go. Default. Done. Step 1, crusade for Jerusalem. Step 2, give independence to everyone not in Jerusalem. Step 3, go Jewish. Step 3, go Jewish. Go Jewish! Alright. Alright. So, lesson number 1. Read this crap. If you're new, read this crap. Okay? There's my pro tip number 1 of the day. Alright? If you're just picking something random, read through this. It's going to give you an idea of what you can and can't do. Understood? Okay. We got that sorted out. Game started, stream over. No, not really. Because I might sit down still, and that's going to take another 20 minutes. Hey, local news. I can turn that off now. I think I have the lighting situation under control. There we go. Sun's coming up. You didn't finish reading? Well, I wasn't telling you to read that one. I meant in your game. In your game, wherever you pick to play, it's going to tell you, the rules of your religion and the rules of your culture. Alright? And your government. Or whatever. It tells you things. It gives you information that you might need to know. Alright, we are going to be this little guy right here. Alright. I don't have to go through button pushing, right? I mean, you can all kind of figure out, hey, these are buttons that I push. And it shows me different things. And the tooltips tell me, what those things are, right? I don't have to go through all the buttons, right? No. Okay. Alright. So, let's see. We got 1, 2... Oh, look, I already got my football helmet on. We are ready for some 1920s football. Let's do it. American football, sorry. What does each and every button do? Yeah, well, it tells you. You can read that. I'm not here to read the whole game for you. Yep, get to that, murder. Tip 2 should be read the tool tips. That is tip 2. Tip 2 is read all tool tips. Hover over everything. No, and I say this all the time. That is tip 2. Hover over everything. Your domain size consists of all your personal land holdings, castles, cities, and temples. If your domain is unacceptably big, you will start to take taxation penalties, and your vassals will grow resentful. And then, oh look, over here, I hover over, it's on the same little thing. You would think it'd be the same, but no, it's not the same. Domain size 3 out of 4, counties in realm 3, realm size 9, max domain size, formula base 1.0, Earl rank base 1.0, ruler stewardship bonus 0.2, or +2, gavel kind succession +1. Okay, see, it explains it. It does. Sometimes it makes sense too. Let's see. It's not murder, it's mercy. Step 1, hover over all things. But yeah, you do that everywhere in this game, without doubt, for sure. I do. All right. From here to I don't know how many more minutes, we're gonna have to edit this out whenever I highlight it. Because now I'm done. I'm done for now. Anyways, hey, what's going on? No, I'm just joking. I think I'm going to sit down already. Alfred as the first king of England? What? No. We're not a king. We're Earl. Okay, don't be coming in here thinking there's some kind of goal. There is no goal. I'm here to teach. I'm here to teach in a very piss poor kind of way. All right. That is the man who will be Alfred. Well, no, he's Alfred right now. His name is Alfred. And this is Crusader Kings 2. Your history is not necessarily his future. Do you understand? Do you? So the goal is to teach, right? No, I'm gonna teach left. Screw those right bastards. Goddamn extremists. No, I'm just I'm joking. It's funny. Come on, it's a funny. Alright, so here's how I always start the game, alright? We're gonna clear out things. We're gonna start by looking new important decisions. Recruit court physician. Okay, I'll come back to that. But whether you create a character, because you have that DLC, which I do recommend, because that's fun creating your own dynasty. Whether you have you create a character or you don't, you got to go through and take care of some basics. So for me, always number one, get married. Okay, woo, wow, he's got some good stats. Holy cow. All right, Earl Alfred of Bath has some lovely little numbers there, doesn't he? Do. Lovely little numbers there. 18, 21, 16. He's only 18 years old. He's quick. He's a holy friggin' warrior. He's diligent too. He is awesome. We're gonna find him a lovely little bride because he's not married. Because not being married is gonna affect all our numbers and people's opinions and all that stuff, right? So we got Hildegard, Princess of West Francia. So here's what I'm personally going to do. He's got really good numbers, so it's not gonna make a big difference on this. The way I personally do it, and you're gonna have different opinions on this, right? You're gonna have people, well, I'm not go for the claims. I'm marrying for the claims because I love to marry for claims all the time. And I get all the claims, and I go to war as fast as I can, and I get all the land I can as fast as I can. I don't care about that. Okay, I don't. I hardly ever pay attention to marriage for claims. Every once in a while, we'll do it. Okay. No. See, because absolute optimally for you is not absolute optimally for me. All right, there's different ways to play this game. I'm not here to get as much land as fast as I can. That's not enjoyable for me in this game. For me, I want to have, fun with little stories and all that good stuff. See what kind of wackiness ensues, and if I do things that make the actual land acquisition a little harder at times, then so be it. Do. No, that's fine, Onion Master, but it's a good talking point. It is for this. It is. Anyway, so since his ratings aren't that bad, usually what I'm gonna do, like if he's low in stewardship, those are the two that I focus the most on. Again, me personally, martial and stewardship. Why? Because martial affects troop numbers and stewardship affects domain size. And it's as simple as that. It affects more than that. It also affects, money and income and the other stuff. And these will affect things too. But those are my primary. It doesn't mean the other ones are garbage. Ignore them. It just means those are those. So if those are okay, then I might look elsewhere, right? So right now we're low on state intrigue. So maybe I want a wife who is gonna boost up my state intrigue a little bit. If you don't know what these numbers are, this is your character's number right here. This is your state score. So as your leader, your score is then added to that score of your corresponding council member. All right, so your chancellor's 9 is going to be added to my 18. Oh, 9 plus 18 equals 27. When you get a wife, you then take half of her score and add it in there, and it's gonna boost it up more. All right. when you get a wife. If you're a female character and you have a husband, it doesn't work that way. All right, unless they've changed it and I don't know about it. But yeah, if you're a female ruler, the husband's score does not count. All right, now if you make your wife a counselor, then yeah, last time I had that situation, no, it wasn't for me. It's like, I don't know. I could be wrong on that if you know for sure. How do they add with polygamy? How do it's primary wife only. It's primary wife only. If you have multiple wives, if you're playing as a religion with multiple wives, you'll see there's the primary wife and then there's secondary wives. Secondary wives don't count towards the state score, just the primary. That's it. First wife, primary wife, whatever you want to call her. That'd be sick though if it counted all of them. Yeah. All right, so let me look. So again, if I have somebody who's really bad at stewardship, then I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna look, right? And then you can always do the whole, oh, I want somebody who's genius or quick. Now, see, he's quick. Getting a wife who's a genius or quick, well, then that might possibly increase our odds of having children that are the same, right? So you can hunt for that. At the beginning of the game, I'm not necessarily going to hunt for that. I'm going to look for somebody who's relatively young. He's 18, so I don't want somebody who's too much older. You know, we got to have some good baby making years, right? And then we're going to go for, I'm pretty much just going to go for ratings. Try to avoid anything that's too negative. Arbitrary. And then the flip side of that is, you know, if you're coming down to close between two, say it was like, oh, I like both of these two, but I don't know which one's better. I don't know. I really like that 16, but higher than that 15. But you know, she's got that 7 and he's got 0. She's got 0. I don't know which one to pick. Well, then go to this, right? Her brilliant strategist is better than her skilled tactician. Take that, which might help a little bit as far as education. State attribute equals ruler attribute. Wait. It's gender neutral. Well, I will go off. I will say this. Last time I was a female ruler, it was not taking into account the husband's numbers. And maybe we can purposely go and find that out today too. We'll pick a female ruler and look and see if it's affecting it for sure or not. Anyway, so like I said, he's not bad, so we'll just pick somebody that I'm kind of comfortable with overall is good. Again, I don't min-max this. You can find ways to min-max this crap. I don't. If you don't like what you see here, if you do not like what you see here, I will move my big ugly face. I'm sorry, I will move my big beautiful face. All right, I will move my big beautiful face just a little bit. All right, we'll move my big beautiful face, and down here there's little buttons, right? And there's one on the right that's got 2 little heads and shoulders. That's fine characters. You can go in here. All right, you can search all of the world, the realm, your vassals only, or your court only, and you can go through it. So I have my loaded filters. I'll go with my women filter, right? So this is gonna search for women not in prison, not married, not a ruler, in diplomatic range. They'll join court or won't, doesn't matter. They're my religion group. You can set culture group and all that stuff. And then I can go all. And now you're gonna get a list of people from other countries and all that stuff. This isn't, I don't know what determines this, to be honest with you. What determines this list? These are all, almost anything in this list from the arranged marriage should end up working. These aren't always gonna work. So like this woman's really good, right? She doesn't like me though. So I can try to arrange this marriage. King Dumnarth II of Cornwall. Okay, so that's the neighbor. So we're gonna try to arrange that with him. And that's gonna work. She's pretty good. Alright. Alright, she's 16. She's 22 in stewardship. She's pretty badass. I'll take her. So that marriage is gonna work. So we're gonna do that. Yes, there are different races. There are different races in this game, yes. As far as the game is from India, you'll have you know, Africa, you have the Middle East, you have Europe. All right, so you know all the races that you normally see there, you can see them in this here game. So, depending if you have the DLCs, that is, yes. And with the Humble Bundle still going on for this, there's no reason not to have the DLCs. I don't get that joke. Took a prestige hit? Yeah. I took a prestige. I don't care about that either. I will not. Early on in the game, I'll just give me a good wife. I took a... Yeah, I lost 200, or I will lose 200 prestige for marrying her. Why? Because she's a courtier. She is not of a noble family, right? She's not related to a duke or a count or a king or anything like that. Oh, good lordy, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die, man. We're all gonna die. Good choice, Asike. We're all gonna die. Yeah, this is the two wars that we're in, right? This is what we started. The Sons of Lodbrok invasion of East Anglia. So the Vikings are trying to invade England. It was a good run. Alright, so I got the marriage sorted out, right? We're waiting for that message. It hasn't happened yet. It'll happen. I'm gonna go through ruler unmarried, so we took care of that. I'm gonna dismiss that. Pick an ambition. Alright, so I have no children, and my game ends if I have no heir to take over for me in my family, and I would like it to be one of my children. So in this case, you know, we have multiple choices. Create a treasury, make a friend, become king of England, acquire a title, build a war chest, or groom an heir. I'm gonna go for groom an heir because I want babies. And this is gonna give me a 20% fertility boost, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do that. And once your child reaches 12 years, you may choose to right-click their portrait and choose to introduce heir to realm, which, by the way, I always forget to do. I always forget to do that. Yay! So, you know, don't be like me. Remember to do that. I always forget it. I never introduce my heir to the realm. Never. Alright, so that's done. So we have special minor titles grantable. If you have the DLC, you're going to want a court physician. That guy is the only choice in our court right now. He's 15. He's okay. We'll put him as our court physician. For right now, I'm also going to auto-assign commanders, so I'm not having to worry about that, alright? And then we got to pick our focus. So our focus, again, this is with all DLCs enabled, right? So this is what? Way of life? Way of life. We're going to pick our focus. And this is going to give you a boost in one of your ratings, so you can do it that way. You can pick it purely on that. If you want certain goals to do, Intrigue is going to give you higher plot power. Now, each one of these is going to give you certain little random events that pop up, right? And the more you do it, the more you'll get used to. Like, I just don't do hunting very much anymore because it bugs me. Because I've seen those events a million times and just blah, blah. I've seen them all for all these, but the hunting ones just get tiresome for me. If I'm low on state martial, I almost always go war because one, it's +3. And then out of all of these, for me anyways, it's always been the easiest one. So what happens with these events is these events kind of, in a way, geared towards raising your rating. Not all of them. In fact, I'd say most of them in the end don't do it, but it's a way to help. So not only do I get that +3 martial, but I'll start getting events that can increase my martial even more. And so yeah, that's, if I have to choose between a ruler who's got low martial and lower steward, usually I'll go with the lower martial unless it's really bad. You know, all things else being equal, I'll probably go with the higher stewardship because I can get martial up easier by going war, right? So I'm not going to worry about that right now, though. Another reason to pick is you have this one here is +1 health in theology. Family is +1 health, but that also boosts your fertility more, so be careful if you want fertility boost or not. And then hunting gives you +1 health. So those are important, because if you're stressed or you're getting older and you want all the little health bonuses you can, then go that way. I always switch to one of the health ones, usually this theology, just because hunting bugs me. Stressed, you can get a doggy dog there. Somebody might gift you a dog, that'll help get rid of your stress. You can also get rid of stress via theology. You can get rid of stress via carousing too. So you'll learn, the more you do these, you'll learn kind of what they're about and what they add to you. This is intrigue. Seduction is so you can go around banging everybody you want, or at least trying to do. I think we're actually gonna start with intrigue, because my state intrigue is low. My wife's not gonna add a ton to that, so we're gonna get +3. It'll increase my plot power too. So boom, let that go. You see that jumps up 3, so now we're better. Only 1 day left. What, on the CK2 bundle? Yeah, family can be nice for the extra fertility. Yeah. No, if you're dying to make kids, there's family first is awesome for that extra fertility. Yeah, I went with you can stack it up there with groom and heir +20, family first +25, or you can go seduction, which is +25 too for fertility. Yeah, there's ways to stack that stuff up and kind of encourage a baby being born, right? Did I hear banging? Yeah, no, we'll say banging around here. We'll say it. Alright, so we're gonna let the time go slowly, because we got rid of all that stuff, right? We're gonna sit here and wait. There's my wife. Alright, so now we're gonna get my wife. This guy accepts it. And then Insuet and Earl Alfred are getting married. We can collect a royal aid duty to pay for their ceremonies. So you see my prestige up here in the top right just dropped like a rock, because she's -200 because she was a simple courtier and she was beneath me, and so my prestige drops. So I can get the $38 or 38.5 gold ducats in gold, add to my whopping 53, or I can get some prestige back. In this case, 50. We'll go ahead and take the 50 prestige, get some of that back. So if you hover over this stuff, you'll see your monthly balance right now. I'm making 5.11 gold per month. This is our prestige, 2.42. So that stuff will slowly go up. Depending on who you are, when we take a look at who are those guys? Pagans. When we take a look at pagans, prestige comes much more into play on that, right? Because then you're spending it almost like you're spending gold when you're looking at your cities. So we're gonna do that. I can't really do anything. I don't have much gold. We're gonna sit and watch how these wars unfold. Speaking of, we're gonna.
I want my bacon. I gotta tell you something. Bacon is good for me.
Thank you for using the humble link. We're gonna go through and look at our stuff here real quick. We already messed with the minor titles. I'm gonna go through since it's the beginning of the game. Is there a better chancellor? This guy's a vassal. He wants to be on the council. That's what that means. So he's happier now that he's on the council. If I take him off, he's gonna be unhappy. Do I care? He's a mayor. No, I don't really care.
Wait a minute. What? Whoa!
Automation 4. Automation 4, thank you for the brand new sub. Gracias, muchacho. Welcome. Glad you enjoy it. So, I can bump up this guy. Chancellor, not really big deal. I'm not gonna force a change there. This guy's a few points higher. At this point, it's not a big deal to me, though. Let's see about Marshal. Again, this guy's a vassal, a mayor. The vassals that I have on here are mayors. I could care less if they're happy or not. They're not gonna do anything to me. They're just not in this start anyways. We don't really have a better guy than that, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Steward 16, nope, nobody better. Spy Master is only a 9. I can put my wife there, who's also a 9. Now, sometimes your wife's a good spy master, sometimes she's not. It can be a risk. Any spy master is a risk. Rule number 1 for spy master: make sure they like you. Because if they don't like you, if that's not in the green, then you have something to worry about, right? Unhappy mayors don't pay taxes. True. But I still don't care if they're happy or not. I can get past that. Court chaplain, that's fine. He's the best one. So we're not going to make any changes there. I'm going to go over the laws. You can get familiar with your country. We're going to start with Gavelkind. Pretty much everybody starts with Gavelkind unless you're in a completely different area, right? You know, down here in Africa, they have a different secession law. You know, the Muslims have a different secession law. But, you know, Byzantine's going to have a different secession law. But, you know, so there are exceptions. But for the most part, in this area, everybody's starting with Gavelkind. For the most part. We got agnotic, cognatic, Gavelkind. Again, you hover, it tells you what it is. Basically, it means men and women. Alright. It's going to be a while. You have to reign for 10 years. You hover over the little question mark. It tells you what it takes to get things changed. So, yes, even at the beginning, even though he's been there for maybe 4 years before the game started, the game just started. So, our 10-year countdown starts now. But, you know, we make it 10 years without him dying, then we can make sure our vassals are happy and all that other stuff, and we can change our secession law. Now, you open up more secession laws via this stuff. Now, we're within a realm, so that's why there's a second thing right here, right? This is our lord. All right, we are a vassal to this guy, so it's going to show their overall laws. So you can go and see what they have too. I am currently the heir. All right, it's agnotic primogeniture. Is it? It's so it's Ooh. Oh, it's primogeniture. Ooh. Well then, hello, brother. How are you, my sonless, my childless brother? So here's the thing. Here's something we could focus on right now, right? There goes half the stress of the early game. Yeah. Well, and I may not necessarily try this because, yeah, I don't know. Here's what we could do. I could try to kill my brother, and we can go in here and plot to kill. We have 187 plot power. We have a 187.9% plot power. I usually will not try to plot to kill unless that plot power is over 100%. If it's under, it can still work under 100, but it takes forever, and most of the time I don't even have attempts happen when it's under 100. It can still take a long time over 100. It just kind of, there's randomness to it. I turned off direct assassination, right? I think I turned it off. I usually have it on, but I turned it off. So that's another way, is you can just pay a chunk of gold to immediately try it. We don't have gold anyways. So I could plot to kill him. And if we kill him before he has a son, then we inherit. Right? Yeah. I have it on. Oh, I guess I do have it on. Oh, it's just, okay, yeah, it's because I don't have enough gold. Okay, so I did leave it on. All right. Anyways, we'll let that go for a bit. I'm not necessarily going to try that. I've decided to institute the absolute rule law. All that is needed is the support of yourself and my other loyal vassals. So he wants absolute rule where the council is not in charge. So basically, if you look at this, he wants to abolish council power, is what he's trying to do for the realm. I'm going to decline. Actually, I approve. I'll let him do it, because if I'm gonna inherit it, I want it abolished. So I'll back him on that one. I will. My marshal has discovered a man of great military talent called Oswulf, who is willing to serve in my ranks. Alright, so my marshal found this guy right here. He's a pretty good commander. That's what this guy's going to be. He's going to fill one of... he's going to go to my minor title slots. He's going to fill one of these commander slots. So I know exactly who will replace. He'll replace this guy who's garbage. Boom. All right, I never finished going through here anyways. So we have our laws. This is my laws. I can go through, I can, let's see. We do have council power on. They don't have control over anything specific, but if I put something to the vote, they're going to be voting. So I can revoke title allowed. I have 2 supporters, 2 against, and 1 undecided. So if I do that, I want to try to make sure beforehand that I lock up the votes that I need, right? So basically Bishop Hammond, I would want him locked up, right? So we're going to go into that. Oh, Bishop! This man right here. All right. So one of our options here is I can request council support. Now, if I request council support, I'm going to owe him a favor that he can call in later on. I can't buy his council support, probably because, yeah, I don't have 63 bucks. I get over 63 bucks, I can buy his favor. So that's the way I prefer to do it. If I have the money, buy the favor, then I can request council support with my favor, and I don't owe him jack diddly squat. But you can, if you're okay owing a favor, you can do that way. Request council support. I'm not gonna do that though. I don't like it. This is your technology. All right, this is your technology. Now our capital, by default, it's gonna show your capital, right? But each one of these counties has different technology levels. You can see the numbers changing as I go over them, right? Or no, yeah, okay, right there. There's a good example. From there to there, you can see the little bars changing. In Dorset, we have 2 full bars for melee techniques, stuff like that. So by default, if I'm sitting over here, it's going to show my capital. Yeah, this slowly goes up. There's buildings that affect it. There's other stuff that affects it. You'll kind of catch on to that. In game and in real life, one should always stack a council before calling a vote. Yes, always try to stack your council. Yep. If the vote means something, there's times where I'm just like, screw it, let's see what happens. But that just is because I don't really care if it goes through or not. So this will slowly tick up over time. Right now, really, we're not getting anything, but it'll start. All right, here's my military. I have 16. This is my troops, my direct troops, the domain troops. All right, this is I'll explain it to you. All right, this is from my domains. I have 1, 2, 3 domains. Now, by domains, I have the capital of these. So I have the castle in each one of these. These are all vassals. And you can see that by the little flag, right? All right, I have control of it. But this guy's going to be a vassal of me. If you want to see who the vassal is for this... Whoops. If you want to see the vassal, click on the little flag. Then you can see the guy. This is my marshal. That's where he is. All right. And this is where you build new holdings, blah, 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 blah. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, I was going over troops. So this is my direct troops. This is going to be affected by how many domains I have, what buildings are in them, what kind of domains they are. So these are all castles. We'll go over that. You know, you can improve things over time with money, and technology has to be a certain level too. Like right here, we can't upgrade to castle walls too, not, well, in part because of money, but also because we don't have the tech for it. All right, but that will affect your troop number. Your state marshal score affects your troop number. So if all of a sudden he died and I had like a son that was garbage with marshal and wasn't married, then this is gonna drop a bunch. So that does affect your troop size. This is your vassals. That's right now my only vassals are priests and mayors. So, you know, these little guys are not providing a ton of soldiers. So that's all we have there. You can call up. This is also where you're going to call up your allies if you have allies. Having a garbage son, yeah. Hired, you know, that's pretty simple, right? Mercenaries, you hire mercenaries. All right, mercenaries, your monies and your monthly costs. So you got to pay attention to that when you do that. Plan ahead for mercenaries. Otherwise, you're going to go bankrupt. This is your boaty boats over here. We have no boats, even though we are on the water. We have none that are made. That's going to be affected by buildings. And then this is your retinue. Right now, we have a 44 retinue cap. Again, retinue cap is going to be affected by a couple things. Primarily buildings secondary technology. I couldn't think of the word. So if you go in here, one good way, the best way to bump up your retinue cap is military organization. If you see this, you're going from 1 plus 150% retinues, plus 300% retinues, plus 450. So every one of these stacks 150% on your retinue cap. Which is why I love military organization. Now, as a, Merchant Republic's stack retinue cap a crap ton. Everybody else not so much, but you can get to where you start doing it a bunch. And we'll go into the stack and the retinue cap later. All right, so you have your different units you can hire. All right, so here's the cap. I can't do anything for retinue. Here, the important things about retinue is this. Your retinue is always standing. These guys, I call up, now they're ready to go. And then I send them back down. Your retinue will always be on the map. You're always paying for them. When I call these guys up, I gotta pay for them. It's gonna start hurting my money. So now your retinue, since they're always standing, you're always paying for them. And this tells you what it'll be right here. So projected monthly cost 0.15 for one of these units. And then your retinue cap, this does not equal how many men you can have in your retinue cap. All right. For me to get one of these units, I need to get up to 700 retinue cap. All right. That's not 700 men. We're going to get 250 men out of it. All right. And then it'll slowly build up. And then as you build up, you are paying for it to build up. So you're paying extra while it builds up. Garbage. Now I know how my dad feels. Just tend to stay away from my current capital. Wait, if you're gonna plan it and use it to spread tech, maybe. Wait, see, questions. I never gave it a try, but do you think it would be beneficial to change capital now, and then if you have good tech points coming in, so to spread the tech faster? I mean, that's something you can play with. I never mess with my capital. I leave my capital the same. As far as switching down here probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me, and you could definitely mess with that. It looks like our tech in Dorset's better overall, but I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just not. I'm gonna play the hand that I'm dealt. The differences in types of troops, archers. Well, archers shoot little things. Guys with swords don't shoot swords. They swing them. You mean as far as I mean, I'm not sure what kind of explanation you want in different types of troops. Don't shoot swords. No. Link shoots. Yeah, Link shoots swords. He's not in this game. So, okay. Overall, different types. Like kind of a basic explanation. Different types of soldiers are going to be better for different types of things, right? Archers are your range. They're going to be weak against pretty much everything, though. All right, defensively. Light infantry is going to be good against other light infantry. They'll be able to hold their own against other light infantry. They're also going to be good against, I believe, pikemen and then archers. Heavy infantry is going to smash light infantry usually. And they're going to be good against archers and stuff like that too. Neither of the infantries is all that particularly great against cavalry. Cavalry can whoop up on them a little bit. So that's why you have pikemen. Pikemen are your defense against cav, right? And pikemen can tear up cav. Certain troops are, yeah. That's kind of the basics. When you're in combat, you can see a little bit of a breakdown of it, but it's not as detailed as other games as far as what's going on in fighting. What I will focus on, especially with my retinue, what I will focus on is I will focus on this top one. I will focus on the shock retinue. I like a bunch of heavy infantry with archers. I may throw in some pikemen after a little bit, but I'll probably go with like 4 of these before anything else. Just give me extra heavy infantry. Yeah. And mainly because one, it's one of the cheaper ones. Retinue is 700. If you go for the heavy cav, now you're getting up to 900. Plus the cost up front is more. The monthly cost is more. I mean, the cav's good, but you know, it's not necessarily the best. And then you also got to look down at the bottom of the list. Down at the bottom of the list, we have the housecarl retinue. Depending on your culture, you might have a specific retinue that is only available. So like, you know, these guys down here in the Byzantine Empire, they don't have a housecarl retinue. And that's just straight up 200 infantry. So there might be a different makeup that, you know, depending on your culture, what you can get at the bottom. All right, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's just blah. All right. Intrigue, this is gonna be a lot of your decisions. You can do a whole bunch of interesting little things in here, shut the gates, and you'll have a lot of things that pop up in here over time. This is also where you go through your plots. This is where, if I plotted against my brother, it's gonna show up in here. Plots inside my realm that we find out about will pop up in here. I'm gonna turn on auto stop so it just automatically stops them. Any prisoners that we get will be in here, and we can do different things with them. Choppy chop. And then threats like adventurers and stuff. All right, let that go a little bit. So wait, that was Intrigue. Yeah, and there's a whole, again, some of the stuff that's in here is going to depend on where you are in the game, as far as what your rank is, what your religion is, what your, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, we can borrow money. This is a quick way to get 300 bucks, borrow it from Jewish merchants. Now hover over this, it's going to tell you the benefits and negatives to each thing. It's also going to tell you the conditions right there if you hover over that. This is just kind of a general explanation of it if you hover over this part. You know, if you're Catholic, you can buy indulgence from your sins and stuff like that. This is where if you're having a hard time, like you're just like, I need somebody in my court who is gonna be, you know, I have one guy who can be my court chaplain, and he's like a 4. I need to find somebody else. Well, you can go here, invite noble to court, or invite holy man to court. You're gonna have to pay a little money, but you'll get another holy man that comes to your court. It gives you another option. Noble, same thing. You can do that. Like maybe you'll get a guy who's good at marshal or steward or something like that, or just gives you another option there. All right, so then I can present a book, hold a feast. Some of this stuff is gonna help with your prestige and prosperity. Same with summer fair and the feast. Now some of these are going to depend on your religion and stuff like that too. All right. Oh, yep. Tutorial stream. All right. Factions. So since we're a vassal, it's going to show me 2 things: factions within my realm right here, what I control, and then factions in the realm that I'm a part of, which is the petty kingdom of Wessex. All right. So there's 2 different things. These are usually going to be ones that I don't like and I don't want around. And these are usually going to be because they're against me or against my realm. And these are going to be factions that maybe I want to be part of, and I can start one here. All right, religion. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? All right, we're Catholic here. Here's the whole Catholic thing. And then societies. We have different societies we can join when you have that DLC. All right. I'm not going to get into that right now. All right. So right now we got married. I'm just going to kind of chill, let the game go, see what happens with this war. The warlords of Wessex have approved the institution of absolute rule law.